Hey everyone, welcome to Code Harmony. Today we are going to solve this LeetCode challenge 2425 bitwise XOR of all the pairings. Here in this problem statement, what is given to us? We are given two arrays of integer nums1 and nums2. They are saying that there exists another array num3 which contains all the bitwise XOR of all pairings of integer between nums1 and nums2. Let me tell you what they are trying to say. Let's say these two arrays of integers are given to us, and they are saying that you have to form another array. Let's say this is the first array, this is the second array, and the third array is going to have all the pairings of all the integer. Let's say first integer is a1. a1 is mapped to all the integer in second array. So a1 with a2, a1 with b2, and also b1 is also mapped with all the integers in second array. So b1 with a2, b1 with b2. So these 1, 2, 3, 4. These four elements are the part of third array. And what we have to return is, return the bitwise XOR of all the integer in nums3. So nums3 is having, if two elements are in nums1, in two elements are in nums2, then nums3 is going to have four elements. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have to take a XOR of these four elements as well. And in the end, return the exact value, exact XOR value what we are getting. Let's say for this example, 2 is having XOR with all the values, 1 is having XOR with all the values, 3 is having XOR with all the values, and whatever is the final array, we have to take XOR of those values as well. So this is our problem statement, and in the end we are going to return an integer which is going to be the XOR of all the elements from nums3. So before moving to the solution, let me tell you some basics of XOR operators. So what is a XOR operator? If two input are same, we are going to get 0. Both are off, we are getting off. Both are on, we are getting off. If both are alternate, 0, 1 or 1, 0, only in that case we are getting 1. So this is our XOR operator. Let's say the number is given to us is 10. What is the binary representation? Binary representation is 1010. Okay. If I tell you that you have to take a XOR of 10 with 10, 10 XOR 10, then what is the value? Binary representation of 10 is this, 10 is this. What is the XOR value? If both are same, we are getting 0. Both are same, getting 0. Both are same, getting 0. Same, getting 0. So answer is 10 XOR 10 is 0. And what about 10 XOR 0? Both are same, 0. Both are alternate, 1. Both are same, 0. Both are alternate, 1. So what is the answer? Again, the same, 10. From these two examples, what I am getting is, if I am taking, let's say the number is n, and taking XOR with n, in that case I am going to get 0. If you are taking XOR with the same number, you will be getting 0. And if you are taking XOR with 0, then you are getting the same number. So these two expressions you have to understand first. So now how do we solve this problem? If the input given is this, nums1 array, nums2 array, then how I am going to get the answer? Taking XOR of first element with all the values. 1 XOR 3, and then 1 XOR 4, then 2 XOR 3, 2 XOR 4. This is my nums3 array. And after that, I have to take XOR of these elements as well. Take a XOR of these values as well. See, if you are taking XOR now, it doesn't matter that you have to take XOR of these elements in initially, and then you have to take other elements. So if you are taking XOR of 1, 3 or 1, 1 in the starting, all are same. It means that there is no need of these brackets. Just remove these brackets. There is no need of these brackets. Do the XOR in any order, whatever you want. So now this is the expression, taking XOR of every value. Here in this expression, if you try to analyze, that 1 is coming 2 times. And 2 is also coming 2 times. 3 is also coming. 3 is coming 1, 2. 2 times. 4 is coming 2 times. So why they are coming 2 times? because we are taking XOR of every value from nums1 with nums2. Let's say the length of num1 is m and length of nums2 is n. All the items from nums1 is going to come n number of times, and all the elements from num2 is coming m number of times. Okay, so in short, you know the frequency of every single element, and you already know that you are taking XOR of the same number again, you are getting 0. If 1 is coming 2 times, it means 1 XOR 1 is coming 0, 2 is coming 2 times, 2 XOR 2 is 0, 3 XOR 3 is 0, 4 XOR 4 is 0, and 0 XOR 0, XOR 0, XOR 0, ultimately it is 0. So answer of this example is going to be 0. It means you got the idea that if we are able to somehow get the frequency, then we can analyze. If the frequency is even, then it can be divided into two pairs. The result is 0. If the frequency is odd, frequency of any element is odd, then it is going to get, let's say, n. If the frequency of n is 3, then I am considering n. If the frequency of n is even, I am considering 0. And what is this frequency? Every element from nums1 is coming n number of time, because n is the size of nums2. So n is the frequency. And every element from nums2 is having m as a frequency. Okay, so you got the idea. You just capture the frequency of every single element and then see whether you have to include that element in the XOR, final XOR result or not. So the first approach has come as capture frequency. If we are going to capture the frequency, 1 is 2 times because the size of second array is 2, size of first array is also 2. 1 is coming 2 times, 2 is coming 2 times. And also 3 is coming 2 times, 4 is coming 2 times. So this is the frequency. And how we can capture the frequency? If you want to take a map, you can take a map. Okay? Take a hash map to capture the frequency. And if you don't want to capture the frequency, when you are doing the iteration on this array, you already know what is the frequency of 1. What is that? N, size of the second array. Frequency of 2 is size of the second array. Frequency of 3 is size of the first array. Frequency of 4 is size of the first array. So there is no need to take even a hash map. If you are taking a map and that is making your problem approach simpler, you just take a map, and after you have encountered the map, just capture the frequency. Once you have captured the frequency, just iterate over the key set and see if the frequency is even or odd. If it is even, then XOR, then there is no need to include that element. If it is even, then what is the key? You just take a result. To store my final XOR, just take a key XOR result. Let's say the result is initially 0. See why it is 0? Because let's say the value of n is any number, and we are taking XOR with 0, we are getting n. It means if we have to store the XOR of n numbers, then we should initialize that answer variable or result variable with 0. So result initialized with 0, whenever any odd frequency is coming, that is becoming result XOR equal to that n, or you can say that key. This much we have to do. And what we did in this case is, we just took a XOR by capturing the frequency. And why didn't we go with the brute force? Brute force is something mapping every element with every element of second array. And in this case, if the size of first array is m, size of second array will go n, and overall time complexity will go m into n, which is quadratic. So time complexity will go from n square if we are going with the brute force. But if you are capturing the frequency, it will go into m plus n. You are capturing the frequency and then iterating of the key set using hash map. And I also told you that even the hash map is not required because you already know the frequency. You already know the frequency of every single element in the array 1, which is size of array 2. Now let's code this approach. First of all, capture the length. M is the length of first array, nums1 dot length int n equal to nums2 dot length. Let me take a result array which is initialized with 0, and in the end I'm going to send this result. And what is the result? Result is a XOR of every single candidate. Now let's say the frequency or size of nums2 is even. If the size of nums2 is even, it means all the element from nums2 is coming even number of time. In that case, we don't have to capture those items. But if size of nums2 is odd, then capture every element once. If n modulo 2 is equal to 1, in that case int nums1 result or equal to num. Every element will be considered 1 because they are coming odd number of times. Similarly to the second array. For second array, all the elements in the second array are going to come m number of time. So if m is even, nothing to worry about. If m is odd, then just consider every element from num2 once. Int nums2, and the same thing. Let me test over sample test cases. Sample test cases are passed. I'm submitting the problem. It's submitted successfully and it's 100% faster. I hope you understood the approach. Thank you guys. Bye bye.